Hi, I'm Rick Dior, and today we're going to start a series on melodic soloing and comping. I know that sounds strange, melodic comping. But a lot of things that I teach are based on actual tunes that I grew up playing and that, are part of the standard jazz repertoire. So that was a tune, I'm sure you recognized it, called Billy's Bounce by Charlie Parker. It's written in the 1940s. And these are some of the first bebop tunes, this and Confirmation, Anthropology, Scrapple from the Apple. These make great tunes for soloing over, learning to comp, any kind of syncopated head. Now the head is called the tune. So in jazz terms, you play the head, then you solo over those changes that were in the head. So the head is, I'll put it up on the screen here, but I'll sing it in my terrible singing voice. So when I'm playing, I'm singing that in my head. When I'm soloing, I'm singing that in my head. When I'm playing the tune by myself, in other words, playing time, I'm singing that in my head. You have to have these tunes in your head, no matter how badly, like me, you sing them, they need to be there. So every single tune that you play with a band, as far as jazz goes, you need to know it. The other thing you need to know is how to play the head, preferably on vibraphone or piano, and the changes. So again, when you're soloing, you know how it feels to play those lines. And that's how you learn to be a very musical and melodic soloist. So what we're going to do today is we're going to break down this tune and show you the steps that I use for teaching this kind of concept and developing it myself. And we're going to do a bunch of these tunes in this series. It's just going to go, pretty much on and on with many, many jazz tunes. There's so many of them that you can use to do this. And the great thing now is pretty much everybody has, Spotify or Apple Music or something where they can find 20 versions of the same tune and play over them. And that's what you want to try to do. Play over different tempos, different interpretations. There might be Latin versions. There might be versions in odd times in 3/4. So it's really good to do as much as you can. Now you have it at your fingertips. Whereas in the old days, we used to have to go out and buy records or listen to the radio, WBGO for me, when I was growing up, and just try to catch a tune like this and then record it on my cassette player and play over it. But now you have it, so there's no excuse, many versions. So the first thing you want to do is put the metronome on 2 and 4, and that's what it was for my first little demo there, and put it slow. These tunes can burn, all right? So if you put the quarter note at 300 doing this, that would be the half note equals 150. So you want to slow that down, but still keep that metronome on 2 and 4. All right? And I'm also going to want you to play your hi-hat on 2 and 4. You can play it closed like this or open like this. Splashing it is fine. You can even splash it like this. Whatever works for you. But maybe at first you can just close it with the chick sound. All right, so we'll slow down the metronome to like 84, and we'll play this slow. And the first step is to play the whole thing on your snare drum with phrasing. So you're going to do some ghosting, some accents, and long notes. And to play the long notes, you're going to do a slight roll with 2 hands. So like that. So that's sort of a 2-handed, semi-sloppy roll. So you're not trying to be an orchestral snare drummer here. It should be laid back and have that bebop phrasing, which is not this. You don't want it to sound like a tarantella. It should be almost straight. So if I put on the metronome on 2 and 4, and play the head just on the snare drum, it sounds like this. I will be playing my hi-hat as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next step would be to add the bass drum to that, here and there. So just use it as a fill-in like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just do that many, many times and improvise. The next step is to try to play it within time with just your bass drum, your snare drum, the ride cymbal, and the hi-hat. No toms yet. All right, and then the final step would be to try playing it around the drums, use your cymbals and all that. I'll do a little bit of that for you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just play, you know, experiment, screw up, you know, stretch things like I was doing there. As much as you can do over and over. And again, if you have that head you can play over and over with. One thing that I do, I take those heads and I'll record them into a little workstation and I'll loop it. I'll loop the head over and over again 30 times and play over it so I have some melodic context. And that's so much fun to do that. So you can do that, again, with any of these tunes. Then finally what you want to do is start boosting up that tempo. So we'll boost it up now to like 220. And I'll play a little for you. I'll play some time, and then I'll play the head between the hands and the feet while I'm playing time, and then I'll play a little bit of solo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.